My mom laughed the night my house burned down. Not a nervous laugh, not a shock laugh. A real, satisfied smile. The kind that says, finally, someone is paying the price. I was standing on the sidewalk, barefoot, in an oversized t-shirt, still shaking from a fire alarm. When my family pulled up, it felt like they were arriving at a show. Like I was the exhibit. I am Rachel Carter. I was 29. And that was a moment I realized something I had known deep down. I was never really part of their perfect family brand. I was the background character, the one they could blame when things went wrong. My mom tilted her head, looking at the smoke, and said almost cheerfully, "Finally, karma torched the trash." My dad crossed his arms. "You brought this on yourself," he said. "Some people are just cursed." They did not ask if I was okay, if I had shoes, if I had a place to sleep. They filmed. They took pictures with fire trucks behind them, snapping selfies like it was some edgy photo shoot, joking about captions and hashtags, while everything I owned turned to black ash. One of them even said, "This is what happens when you walk away from family." I did not scream. I did not cry. I did not give them a scene to post. I just stared at the phone in my mom's hand, memorized the sound of their laughter over the crackling wood. Then I turned around, ordered a rideshare, and left them standing there with their content. 1 year later, I came back into their lives. No flames, no gasoline, no matches, and I watched their carefully curated world burn without me. If you want to know how the cursed one became the only person who could have saved them, and why I chose not to, stay with me until the end. I grew up in the Carter family, where everything was a scoreboard. Somebody was always performing. Even when no one was watching, my mom, Diana, built an entire online brand around being the relatable, perfect mom. Polished kitchen shots, Sunday family dinners. Every post felt like a sitcom that never got messy. My dad, Patrick, ran a small home renovation business. Hustle, no excuses. The kind of man who would lecture about personal responsibility while ignoring a pile of unpaid bills on the counter. My older sister, Sophie, lived for aesthetics. Weddings, events, champagne toasts, fairy lights, Instagram captions about intentional living. My younger brother, Evan, chased the next shortcut to success. Flipping used electronics. Trading crypto. One big move away from making it. Always one bad week away from calling someone to bail him out. In their stories, they were all main characters. I was the one behind the scenes, making sure the numbers added up. I moved out as soon as I could, traded their crowded suburban house for a small duplex in East Austin. Somewhere I could hear myself think. I worked in financial operations for a tech startup, a fancy way of saying, I spent my days making sure other people did not set their money on fire. Ironically, the only place my skills weren't valued was at home. Mom would send me screenshots of her brand deals. "Can you just skim this? It's so boring." Dad handed me receipts in grocery bags. "Just make sure the IRS stays happy." "All right." Sophie shoved her laptop at me. "These numbers make my head hurt. Can you fix it so it looks cute, but not terrifying?" Evan spammed me with texts. "Hey, quick question." Never quick. Always ended with, "I'll pay you back next month." I didn't mind helping at first. It felt good to be useful, to be the calm one, the one who untangled the mess. But they never learned. They never tried. They treated me like an app, open when needed, close when done. I got tired of forgetting what I had done for who, of keeping mental tabs on promises that never came. So I opened a fresh Notion page, called it Family Balance. Every time I fixed a tax form for Dad, I logged it. Every time I reworked a wedding budget for Sophie, I logged it. Every time I set up automatic bill pay or a medical reminder for Mom, I logged it. Every loan, every spreadsheet, every small favor, I logged it. Not to invoice them, but to remind myself I wasn't crazy for feeling drained. On camera, we were the Carters, a strong, united family chasing big dreams. Off camera, I was the invisible safety net. And the night my house burned, All those little favors stopped feeling little. The morning after, I woke up in a cheap hotel off the highway. Popcorn ceiling. Coffee that tastes like nothing. My phone was the first thing I checked. No missed calls asking if I was okay. Just notifications. Evan sent a blurry photo of my burned duplex. Emoji flames. Caption, home sweet home. Sophie forwarded a brunch table with mimosas and avocado toast. Caption, some people burn bridges and then act surprised when they have nowhere to go. Mom's feed was full of cozy family night photos. Like she hadn't said, karma torch the trash, while my house burned. I put my phone down, opened my laptop, slipped into the mode I always use to save other people. Calm, methodical, detached, uploaded photos, filled out fields, attached documents, sent follow-up emails. While my family laughed on social media, I did the grown-up work of rebuilding. No one offered me a couch. No one suggested I stay until I got back on my feet. Not even people who love to preach family first online. A co-worker, someone I barely knew, texted, "Hey, heard about the fire. If you need a place to crash or help with paperwork, I'm here." That one message made me feel more seen than my entire bloodline. Within a week, insurance claims moved. Within 2 weeks, I had a small studio in South Congress. Lock on the door, a place where no one had a key. I opened Family Balance and added a new section, the fire, logged every detail. What was lost? What was said? Mom. Finally, karma torched the trash. Dad, you brought this on yourself. Family laughed, took pictures, left. I realized something. If I listed everything I did from over the years, the balance wasn't just off. It was upside down. They acted like I was cursed. But without me quietly holding everything together, their perfect family would crumble in a month. That thought wasn't revenge. It was a seed, a question growing in my mind. If they could laugh while my life burned, why was I still making sure theirs didn't? I didn't call. I didn't text. I didn't show up. I let them think I disappeared. But I wasn't gone. I was everywhere they weren't paying attention. Every little detail I had logged in Family Balance became a blueprint. Emails from vendors. Contracts Mom signed without reading. Expense sheets Sophie forgot to approve. Payments Dad overlooked. Every misstep. Every careless mistake. I didn't hack. I didn't steal. I just waited, like a shadow in the corner of a room no one looks at. I started small. A vendor email that Dad ignored, I forwarded it with suggestion that made him look bad. Sophie's brand deal, I quietly optimized her content delivery metrics, so she posted the wrong times, reached the wrong audience. And watch engagement tank. Mom posted a sponsored recipe video. I noticed the tag was missing, so she risked a compliance hit. None of it traceable to me. Just like when I fixed their chaos silently, I was now letting it spiral silently. They called it curse. I called it karma in slow motion. And the best part? They never knew it came from me. It hit Sophie first. She had a dinner party. Perfect Instagram aesthetic. All friends who were influencers in her tiny universe. A sponsorship deal was supposed to drop right after. I had subtly delayed the emails, sent conflicting info to the PR team, and now she texted me at 1 a.m. "Rachel, you've got to help me. This is a disaster. I can't fix it." I didn't respond. She was shaking, panicking, cursing the world. Mom? She started posting about her perfect family night. One of the posts? The IRS noticed a missing tag on a sponsored post. I watched as her perfectly curated life had tiny cracks. Not obvious to anyone but me. And Evan? Oh, Evan. He got greedy. Flipping crypto like he owned Wall Street. A wrong wallet. A fake promise. A fake email. A single missed transfer lost him thousands. He called me frantic. "Ratch, I need help. I screwed up." I remembered every time he laughed at my budgeting tips. Every time he promised he'd pay me back. I said nothing, because for the first time, they were the ones panicking. They were the ones missing the safety net I had always been. I emailed Mom once. Not a warning, not an apology, just a link to a post. When you ignore the fire, it doesn't forget you. No caption, no emoji. She called me crying. I didn't pick up. She texted, "I get it. You're mad. You're punishing us." I typed one word, balance. And I hit send. That was the first time they realized I wasn't a background character anymore. I wasn't there to fix mistakes. I wasn't there to cover for them. I was there to watch the ledger tip, to watch karma take its natural course. Weeks went by, every family dinner, every brunch, every Insta post. I had someone feeding me details anonymously, vendors, assistants, even Sophie's so-called best friends. I watched like a chess player. Every move, every misstep, every lie, and I planned not to hurt them physically. No, that would be too obvious. Psychological, financial, social. I was surgical. Mom thought she was above scrutiny. Dad thought he was untouchable. Sophie thought she had influence. Evan thought he could outsmart the world. All of them were wrong. I emailed Mom once. Not a warning, not an apology, just a link to a post. When you ignore the fire, it doesn't forget you. No caption, no emoji. She called me crying. I didn't pick up. She texted, "I get it. You're mad. You're punishing us." I typed one word, balance. And I hit send. That was the first time they realized I wasn't a background character anymore. I wasn't there to fix mistakes. I wasn't there to cover for them. I was there to watch the ledger tip, to watch karma take its natural course. Weeks went by, every family dinner, every brunch, every Insta post. I had someone feeding me details anonymously, vendors, assistants, even Sophie's so-called best friends. I watched like a chess player. Every move, every misstep, every lie, and I planned not to hurt them physically. No, that would be too obvious. Psychological, financial, social. I was surgical. Mom thought she was above scrutiny. Dad thought he was untouchable. Sophie thought she had influence. Evan thought he could outsmart the world. All of them were wrong. They understood now. Not just the fire. Not just the losses. Not just the embarrassment. They understood that I had always been the quiet power in the family. And when they mocked me, ignored me, laughed at me, I had kept all my power stored. Like a bomb. I had watched, logged, calculated. And when the moment was right, I didn't even need to touch their money. Their own mistakes, amplified by my absence, did all the work. Every betrayal, every missed detail, every laugh at my expense, all came back tenfold. I left the dinner. No shouting, no confrontation, no forgiveness. They were already unraveling. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. The fire had taught me something. Some people only respect what they cannot control. Some people only realize the value of a person when that person stops being the safety net. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged nowhere but myself. They called me cursed. I called myself free.